welcome to Final Fights. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is Adam Hapkido Hodgins.
You know, Mark, tonight, no matter what happens, I'm going to talk in this very monotone voice and not show any emotion whatsoever, regardless of highs or lows in the storyline we're talking about.
It's just so mellow. I just get so quiet. Oh man, I'm so crazy. This is nuts. This is going crazy.
Mark, you have to realize that you're getting into a situation that you can't handle right now, and regardless of how many guns you have pointed at me and how helpless I might seem, there's nothing that will faze me at all.
Adam, this is crazy. I'm on a helicopter right now, and I'm fighting this lady, and then I got this gun to the helicopter pilot's head, and I'm running all around, man. There's all these people. I'm climbing on a train.
I just want to tell you, General, the hostages are safe. I can't do it anymore. That's as much Seagal as it got in me.
I am it's movies with dark in the title month here at Movies, Films, and Flicks. I never planned on it. I just realized one day that I already had 3 recorded, so I'm like, make a month out of it. So here we are doing this Under Siege 2 Dark Territory, and I gotta thank you for this because Under Siege 2 Dark Territory is a gem. There's
some stuff happening in this movie.
Directed by the guy who made Free Jack, Young Guns 2, was second unit on the Lord of the Rings movies. Written by Matt Reeves, who went on to write like Cloverfield, Let Me In. He did Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, War of the Planet of the Apes. Now he's directing Batman. The fight coordinator, right? The fight coordinator. Clint Cadena was on The Rundown, Blade Trinity, The Matrix, The Crow, Showdown in Little Tokyo, Triple X. John Machado, a guest fight choreographer, is a Brazilian black belt martial artist. I mean, as you know, I love MMA, Adam. And when I saw John Machado as a special guest choreographer, I was like, what? And then I looked up Dick Zeiker, the stunt coordinator on this. This dude did Soldier, Speed 2, Executive Decision, you're gonna love this, Blind Fury, National Lampoon's Vacation. He was also a stunt person. He was a stunt coordinator on Carrie, and he was a stunt person on Jaws and Scarface.
Right.
So this,
we hadn't done Blind Fury yet. We did Lady Hawk, but we discussed doing Blind Fury.
We need to do Blind Fury. We'll get to it. We have to. And then also, I mean, you have Steven Seagal, 7th degree black belt, and Hachidan Aikido. And then he has he knows severe knife fighting skills. He also knows the stick and sword. I mean, this is a guy who, has been practicing martial arts since so he moved to Japan sometime between 71 and 73. Then he returned home, and then he started teaching Aikido and just moved all around the world. And he's just a martial arts guy, Steven Seagal.
Right.
And I mean, this fight scene in Under Siege 2, all those skills are kind of worthless.
I want to say this. Mark. On paper, what you just described to me, all the credits, the rundown you just gave me, it's a royal flush. You go into this with only the highest of expectations.
I gotta tell you, his final fight with Marcus Penn. So the final fight is between Casey Ryback of Under Siege fame. Everyone calls him Casey, not Chef, which when I worked food events for a long time, not a long time, but it felt like a long time, and you all call him Chef. Everyone's like, hey, Casey. They be calling him Chef. Just want to let you know that.
Nobody calls Gordon Ramsay Gordon. They call him Chef Ramsay.
Exactly. So Casey, they don't respect him. But his fight with Marcus Penn, there's a scene in here where Marcus Penn has...
I will say, this is what we call a Goro situation, where the second in command is the toughest fight.
Yes. And I mean, it's kind of like, think Lethal Weapon, right? Or
Mr. Joshua.
Mr. Joshua. I mean, fights like that. So he's up against Marcus Penn, played by Everett McGill. Big guy, good, good presence. He's the guy from People Under the Stairs, I believe, right? Wasn't he? People Under the Stairs. He's always freaked me out. So from that, just big guy, great presence. But this fight is just Casey Ryback clowning on Marcus Penn.
It reminds me a little bit of like when my son was 3 and he'd want to wrestle with me. And we just kind of tussled around a little bit, and I was never in any danger. But you just kind of play with him a little bit, and then you tell him, okay, now it's time to go to bed.
So it's not like when your son is 13 and has done like 6 weeks of wrestling and lands a single leg on you, and you're completely shocked, and then you eventually smush him, but you're still kind of shook because you just got a single leg takedown from your 13-year-old son. That's not even this.
That's not even this. My son is actually 13, and he's really good at Kempo karate.
Oh, hey. Nice.
Yeah. So he's got a staff that he uses. He's got staffs and Cali sticks he knows how to use and stuff.
Jeez Louise.
So yeah, we're way beyond the wrestling when he was 3, but that's kind of what happens here.
There's a moment in this fight where, okay, I just want to, before we get to this, I have to ask you a question. When you see lettuce in a kitchen fight, do you expect that lettuce to be used? Like in Spy, when Melissa McCarthy is throwing food at the woman that she is fighting, she is throwing lettuce at somebody. If you see a lettuce in a fight in a kitchen, you expect that lettuce to be used.
When you see a kitchen fight, I assume everything you see will be used at some point in time.
Yeah, salt, pepper shakers, everything.
But tomatoes and lettuce are top of the pile.
There isn't any lettuce juices in this fight. However, I mean, Marcus Penn does go flying on top of some lettuce, which...
Yeah, but the lettuce is not the object of the preposition there.
I just kept waiting for Marcus to just realize his defeat. And
I kept waiting for Marcus to land a punch.
Casey has... Well, the only kick he landed is when Casey has him on the ground and then he kicks him in the head. And Casey falls backwards. And I just went, whoa. Because in this fight, Marcus Penn, the ultimate bad guy, does worse than the henchman a few minutes beforehand that picked up Casey Ryback and tackled him inside of a train car.
But he tackled him, but what really happened was that was just Seagal putting him in the Gracie guard.
Yeah, the Gracie guard. And then he was using his heels to kick his back and using his elbows to hit him in the head.
He went real MMA on him there.
Yeah. I mean, super MMA. But that shocked me, though, because if you are in a traditional MMA fight, most Steven Seagal fights would be 3,000-0.
Right.
His fight against that henchman was roughly 2,700-4.
Right. He got a lick in there. He made himself known. Now, Mark, I have the final fight broken down here. I just want to read off my breakdown of the final fight to you.
Okay.
And tell me if I've got this right. Okay. Whenever I'm a guest on this show, I always say, when does the final fight start? That's always my bit. It's like, when does it officially start? And this officially starts when the bad guy, Mr. Blondie, says out loud, "I'm going to take him hand to hand."
Yes. For me, it's when they show the knives, the second knife.
Okay, so I have my breakdown because there's something important that happens here.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "I'm going to take him myself hand to hand." Then he goes and puts Katherine Heigl in a noose and gives her a grenade. Gives her a grenade. I just want to throw that out loud. Also, I don't think this movie knows how grenades work, but I don't want to get into that right now. And then he walks into a train car. Now, Ryback sees his niece hung up with a grenade, and then this guy licks her. He licks her face, which is always the grossest thing you can ever do to anybody. And then he comes in and puts his gun down. Now, Mark, if my niece is in a noose with a grenade and you've put her there, and I don't know you, like you're not my friend, I'm just saying, like, if you're just the bad guy, and you come into a train car with me when I have a gun, and you put yours down, the honor of a fair fight is out the window, sir.
Yes. This isn't two people standing in the desert.
No, this is time sensitive.
Yes.
My niece is at risk here.
Yeah. Or even the villain goes, "We're fighting hand to hand," and the villain pushes your niece towards you, and your niece runs to you.
Right.
And then you go, "Okay, that was pretty cool of you. I appreciate it, so I guess I'll give you the hand-to-hand fight."
Right, but nothing phases Ryback. Nothing phases him. So then he puts his gun down, but then he folds his hands in front of him as if he's in a wedding party. And I want to say, Mark, Casey Ryback, before the final fight, so after the entirety of the movie, before the final fight, looks better dressed than I did when I went to my prom.
Yeah, and he looked like a bouncer at a very high society club.
He is dressed to the nines. His hair is not out of place. It's perfect. He folds his hands. A guy comes down and pulls out like a dagger, not a knife, but like a dagger. And then Ryback slowly reveals his knife, very dramatically. And then they start going at each other. Mm-hmm. And so Ryback cuts him a couple times. Never get touched with the knife.
You cut my coat. But isn't it a jacket? Oh, sorry. I'll let you break it down. Sorry.
Anyways, so then Ryback throws him a couple times, and then they tussle, is what I say. They have a little tussle. They hug,
tussling.
And they fall down the stairs, and then Ryback loses his knife. which sends him into Super Saiyan mode, and he kicks the crap out of this guy. He's better without a knife, Mark.
Yes.
He just and headshots and knees, and he just unleashes on him, throws around the kitchen. They tussle a little bit more. He gets kicked once, just one.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes to town, and he really just destroys him. And he gives him a rear choke, and he breaks his neck. And then he just kind of gingerly walks up to his knees, like he's never in a real hurry in this movie ever.
Never.
But that's my breakdown of the movie. But I'll say after the final fight, even after the train explodes and he's on the helicopter, he still looks better than I've ever looked on like a first date or a formal event.
And you know what's wild? Let's say you and I go outside and we just go play some pickup hockey. I don't know. Just pick up street hockey, right?
Yep.
When we're done, and it's a balmy day, right? Balmy July day. You and I are going to be soaked. We're going to look gross. Our hair's going to be
We're going to have like
bad.
The dust that settles on you because you're sweating.
Yeah. It's not going to be pretty.
You get? No, it's gross.
You might have, I might have a black eye because you shot the puck at me or the ball since it's street hockey. And I kind of think you did it on purpose, but you're like, oh, it was an accident.
I yelled knuckle puck. I yelled knuckle puck.
Like, we're going to look horrible. But in this one, even after the stairs got more strikes in than Marcus Penn did in this final fight. The stairs, if this was a three-way fight, the stairs take second place.
100%. 100%.
Also, he just slaps. You see, he lands 21 straight, I can't even say it, 21 straight strikes on Marcus Penn in a row when Marcus Penn still has a knife.
Right. And when Marcus Penn is like far away from him or close to him with a knife, without a knife, his hands keep doing this thing in front of his face where if you take out the dramatic music and put in like cha-cha music, it's like, you know, the guys are like, 2, cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha. He's almost doing that kind of hand movement where it's like, I don't know if it's real Hapkido or if it's just him making it theatrical, but I don't understand it.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
You're Marcus Penn. You're up against Casey Ryback, and you're like, I am out of my league. This is trouble. This is really, really bad. But I have an ego, so I'm not going to step away from this. When Casey Ryback is doing his raving, let's say, I mean, well, Aikido, Hapkido, whatever the martial arts is that he's doing. And I researched, because in this one, it said that he's good at Aikido, Karate, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, Kendo, Shito Ryu, and then they also said that he practices Pencak Silat, which I love. That's like I think that's what Iko Ue and they do in the raid over in Indonesia. So he practices every martial art known to man. But when he's doing that arm thing, he's kind of thinking, okay, I'm protecting my vital organs. So when he goes to stab my guts, my arms are moving, so then I'll move it. Or if he goes to stab my face, I'll move it. If he goes to stab my jacket, my coat, which is, I think is a jacket, but I call it a coat.
Right.
What if you just try to slice his fingers?
Yeah.
Wait, he did bite a knife in Mission Under Siege, though. That's the problem. But what if he just sliced his hand?
Yeah,
okay,
just start hacking.
Yeah. Like, that's not... Listen, I've never been in a knife fight against a highly trained person who knows knife training. So if I was in The Hunted, Benicio del Toro would hand it to me. It would be the shortest fight ever. It would be, hey, what's up, man? Slice dead. So I can't really, I hate when people are like, this is what I would do. I would do a triple backflip. You would do a triple backflip inside of a train car? But yeah, so I'm not going that. But
no,
it just bummed me out how badly Marcus Penn fell apart. I mean, Marcus Penn, he couldn't even land a slash with the butcher knife.
No, he had a cleaver, Mark. A weighted cleaver designed to cut meat. That's what it was invented for, to cut big pieces of meat and bone. He's got nothing. And I'm going to say his face was so quickly crimson red after getting slapped by Seagal. Like, I don't know how the skin broke. I don't understand whether that happened, but all of a sudden he's just a mess. He makes hamburger out of him.
This is why I like the finales of JCVD films, even though I have some weird theories. Like in Kickboxer, Tong Po